Hi. This is one of the things I don't like about an online class. I don't have the opportunity to talk to you as a class in general. And I don't want to send individual emails. That takes too long because the class is too big. So we're going to use this as a way for me to give you a few test taking tips. Now, some of you will not need them, but some of you is becoming more and more obvious you need some help. And I'm not doing this to try to discourage you because, as they say, the only difference between a job and a career is education. You must stay in school to get your education. First and foremost, before you take the test, and there'll be a test every other week, review your notes and maybe go back and look at some of the PowerPoints. Very simplistic, and just refresh your memory because sometimes we forget from one week to the next. Since this is an online course, you're taking it at home, have your notes and your text next to you when you begin the test. That way, if you've got a quick question, you've got your information there to check. And always make sure you have the full 2 hours in a quiet place to complete your test. That sounds stupid to say, doesn't it? But when you have jobs and you have children and you have a spouse, I know how difficult it can be to find 2 complete hours with no interruptions. But you've agreed to take the course, you want to learn, you want to get the credit for the course, so you need to complete it and to earn points. And by not taking a test or not completing the questions, you're not earning any points toward fulfilling the course. So talk to your spouse, explain to him how important it is for you to do this. Don't wait till you get off work at midnight to do it. Then you're going to be so tired your brain is not going to be functioning very well at all. Have your husband or your wife take the kids for a walk, to a movie. Uh, take your laptop if you have a laptop and go to the bedroom and close the door. Just make sure you have 2 full hours in a quiet place so you can concentrate. And when the test opens up, it opens up the whole test, 15 or 20 questions at one time. So my suggestion is once you open up the test, don't just take question 1 and try to answer it. Scroll through the test. Look at all the test questions and get an idea of what I'm going to ask, what you're going to have to find out, and then go back. The big point questions, the 5, 10, 15-point questions, the 10, 15-point questions are at the very end. And once you scroll through the test, you might decide that you want to start with the 15 or 10-point questions and get them out of the way. Then go back and do your 5-point. When you read a question, if you don't know the answer to the question, go on. Don't take time right then to look up in the book or look through your notes or to go online and get the answer. Go on to the next question, to the one you can answer. Then come back to answer the ones that you didn't know the answer to if you have time once you have completed the ones you do know the answers to. So once you've completed the questions you can answer, like I said, go back and get the ones you couldn't answer. Now, if you can't answer the question, look at the question, take a key word in it, and go to the index of your textbook. And that should tell you exactly what page the information's on. Take the full time allowed for your test and do not skip questions and do not end the test early. And I had several students who ended the test in less than an hour, skipping the 15-point questions. I requested, did they have problems? Did the lights go out? Did the computer die? I got no responses. My only guess is that you were discouraged because you didn't know the answer to the question, so you just said, screw this, and signed off. If you're almost finished with the test and the computer tells you you're almost out of time or you're out of time, finish the question you're working on. Better a few points off for being late than miss a 10 or 15-point question. Now, I have not been deducting for lateness so far, but I'm going to start doing it with this test. I was really disappointed with the last test to see so many of you skipping those big point questions at the end. And when I checked, some of you had time left. Some of you got to your full 2 hours and you didn't have time to do the 15-point question, so you just stopped. No, don't do that. The 5-point questions only require 2 sentences, and some of you are giving me beautiful detailed answers, 100, 150 words. And this is fine, as long as you have time to finish the rest of your test. But don't spend 10 or 15 minutes on a 5-point question and then don't get the 10 or 15-point question. So answer in 2 or 3 sentences and go on. And if you have time left when you get through with the test, go back and lengthen and give me more detail at that point in time. Now, this may all seem a bit simplistic to some of you, but Like I say, with an online class, I do not have the luxury of standing up in front of the class and explaining what I want from you and giving you tips and answering your questions. I'm sorry about that. But again, a hint, the big point questions are at the end of the test. If nothing else, complete them first and then go back to your 5 pointers. That being said, if you have questions, please contact me.